Hello everybody, my name is Troublemaker. This is a match from the Wargame Cup, sponsored by UGen Systems, creators of Wargame European Escalation, which is the game being played, and Intel. And so we have, representing the blue NATO, we have haltendehand. Hey, I got that in the first shot. I didn't. Okay, focus. And representing the pack, we have an 1800 rated player named G Bro. So we've seen quite a few matches so far on this map, and of course it is regularly a very 2v2 friendly map because of the fact that there are two different flanks and blah blah blah, and people have been using very creative strategies with dealing with this particular map. And so we're going to see what these two players have been doing. And keep in mind, like with every game that I've casted, we haven't seen anything really similar. Everyone's kind of been doing their own different thing, which has been pretty cool. That this map really supports so much innovative and different play. It actually makes it a great map for the tournament as well, because it means that it'll be very, very hard for people to really study up on tactics. Because just because you play it one way doesn't mean you're not gonna be vulnerable to an all-in when you play it some other way. So you have a lot of anti-aircraft spread out by G-Bro here. Been very specific and very thoughtful with his unit positions. Even more anti-aircraft of some infantry, and looks like it's me Zalo tanks. Ooh, buddy, those are tough. And looks like a lot of Flakpanzer here for haltendehand. So yeah, they're both going for something very similar, and of course lots of infantry for this map. This map, of course, is very, very good for infantry. This area here called India is mostly forest, and infantry, of course, do very, very well when in the forest. And it looks like we're going to see some kind of split positioning here by G-Bro. He hasn't created a second command yet, though. So this looks like it might be a little more all-in than what it ought to be. I will say there's only, actually today is actually the last day of round 2. So until round 3 starts, I'll be doing 2 or 3 games a day, but that will pretty much end round 2 coverage, which will bring the tournament down to about 300-350 people. A lot of the top players have actually been getting people ignoring them just because the Steam game prize has already been rewarded to anyone who survives first round. As off the bat, we have some helicopter harass from haltendehand. That's such a complicated name. And he pulls back immediately, just in time, doesn't lose anything. And we can see here lots of anti-aircraft, lots of anti-tank weapons. And he's been spreading out his units very effectively. Could split these murder V2 sides. A little bit of action going on here with some Rug Famas and some shots for Famas, catching these Spadokanowskis off guard. And looks like there'll be more than enough here to really wipe out this group of Spadokanowskis. And this little position here will go to haltendehand. Of course, what he really wants is, of course, going to be one of these towns where all the forces are. And looking at, we see that there's 2 commands out for G-Bro, who has taken Gulf and Echo. And for haltendehand, he has taken Juliet and Kilo. And of course, both places fairly well defended. However, they're both on opposite sides of the maps. So it looks like we're going to see a fairly sizable macro game, just because it's going to take too much for units to get into position. We do have a bunch of VABs rushing forward here. Not really sure what's going to happen with them, but something crazy. We have the VABs getting pushed back by some Spetsnaz. Chasseurs from us are deployed. Spetsnaz, of course, not that good against the Chasseurs from us. Quite the expensive transition here for the Chasseurs, as looks like haltendehand so far getting a little bit of an upper hand, but keep in mind, very, very early in the game. The Chasseurs and the VABs pushing forward, going to wipe out these Spetsnaz. It's just a crazy open battlefield. These Chasseurs, of course, wish they had some coverage here, but they don't. And looking down the battlefield, looks like the VABs are coming back from being routed. And actually the Chasseurs are about to fall. That's a little crazy for these Spetsnaz. Having some targeting issues as they close the gap, trying to get closer and closer to these Spetsnaz. We do have some BMPs also winding up against this VAB. BMPs, of course, have some pretty high caliber weaponry, able to do quite a bit of damage. And they are, the Spetsnaz are down to 1 unit and have been routed and are gone. However, the costs here will probably be about even or more as VABs are retreating and another one dies. The chasseurs are rushing forward, getting caught off guard by these anti-infantry guns, and looks like one of these little small nothing battles that will need not too much in lay of everything. 4 chasseurs, of course, getting pushed back. There's some PTUR conquerors here, charging up against maybe this VAB here. Nope, actually the VAB's way in the distance, able to see past the bush, and it's actually a miss. So it looks like that was a fire position command. The BMPs are desperately trying to get this group of VABs though, and ooh, another lucky rocket shot by the conquerors. Rep Hamas forced to deploy and are on the retreat. A lot of very expensive, very useless units dying right now. We have a few helicopters. If he was able to catch those, that'd be huge. Actually, those are transport helicopters, so maybe not. Some BDVs running straight into some chasseurs from us. Of course, the chasseurs have the cover advantage, and so they might be able to win this, but with the support of the transport helicopters, it looks like they will in fact go down. So like I said, not too big of a thingy-majobber here. There are some VABs just camping in position here at India, and whoa, 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 we have another small push here. Some VABs, some tank destroyers, some recon, some anti-aircraft guns, and some chasseurs stuck out here. The chasseurs are deployed right on top of the recon. Anti-aircraft missiles are being moved, and BTRs also are going against these anti-tank rockets. Oh, they pull back just not in time, and he loses quite the expensive unit at the cost of not much. And so we've seen 2 position attacks. Not too major of them though, of course. Nothing has particularly happened. No one's really refreshing their unit count. Looks like this will go into a fairly large macro game. Just some small opening skirmishes. And it's times like this you gotta take advantage of just good unit placements all over the map. They know what's going on. Oh, we see another small push in. Moto Streltsy takes out an anti-aircraft gun, but is wiped out itself by these chasseurs famas. Of course, now we can take the vital position in this town if he wanted it. And of course, everything else is retreating, of course, because he kind of knows what's going on here. And we have some transport helicopters here. Don't know what they're going to do. Now there's no anti-aircraft gun here, though. They're going to have a little more fun than they otherwise would have had. Some tows knocking in, some Scots. We have Apaches coming in full force for some reason. And, whoa, we have 4 VABs moving around the back. Lots of crazy cool plays going on here. Looks like he's going to try and go for a resource block. And we have a much larger squad doing the exact same thing from Gibro as he's trying to block the supplies here. He's sending the recon first. He doesn't want to risk too much. And looks like a lot more units for red at the moment, actually. But blue has a lot of bunched up units as well. So we have some Ophies moving forward. Kind of a scary way for this place to go. Of course, actually it's sideways. Herp derp derp. And whoa, lots of Rep Hamas and chasseurs are moving forward. They were at India here, but they pushed forward, and we see lots of anti-infantry vehicles coming out for Gibro. The Smirch pulled back just in time. And where's he going with these? Looks like he has them all spread along the map. Unfortunately, this wasn't actually deployed to deal with his main problem he has right here, which is just an insanely high amount of force here. And these Ophies are a little bit out of position and could be easily caught off guard, but luckily they've been undetected. Looks like the Apache will take down one of these infantry carriers, which of course had no infantry in it. And yeah, so far it looks like they're both spending their money, but oh, look at this. We have another command on the map for haltendehand, who will probably boom at some point. I guess the units he's been spending have been relatively cheap. He has position in the woods here, a very good position. And this is something that you can exploit in the future. Whenever you're making a big attack forward, he's going to send all his helicopters out, and you can rush these forward. And that's just a really good sound idea. Lots of anti-aircraft guns coming out for G-Bro, and I think this has more to do with nervousness than anything. And I'm basically the same way. Anytime I have a location that doesn't have anti-aircraft, I immediately just start pumping out anti-aircraft. I have like 3 or 4 anti-aircraft types in my deck because I run it with anti-aircraft. But nonetheless, looks like he's going to try and drive through middle, which of course has some Legion Famas, which look a little bit out of position. They could be closer into the middle here to try and take this out. But oh my god, small little engagement here. Some anti-aircraft that's been distributed along the map has been destroyed. It looks like a part of G-Bro's style is actually to just kind of spread units out through deployment. Just a little bit interesting. That's how he's actually able to create this weird flank just by selecting units to locations. Not terrible, not great, just different. The supply, pushback, the VDVs forced out of these woods, routed. The supply truck looks like it's on fire. Look at this thing. It's actually on fire. It's a fuel truck. That means it'll blow up soon. We have, looks like a scout and a gazelle. Trying to pick off anything it can. It does in fact get an anti-tank gun. But whoa, lots of anti-tank helicopters? What? Why would you get these? They don't have anti-air capacities, do they? Pretty sure they don't. They have some murder rolling, so moving right into position to knock these down. It gets one down, and oh, here comes the Apache as well, trying to bait it out into the rolling. And the Apache realizes, oh my god, these units are gonna have a hard time. Oh wait a minute, I guess they can defend against air. Oops. But the Rollins do take it to 2, so the trade goes very, very much in favor of Halt in the Hand. And I'm still waiting for this lull in the action. Looks like we have a small little skirmish here. The VDVs getting caught by a tow, or at least their carrier. And so they're unable to really get a strong grasp on that location. Whatever happened to this southern force? I guess, no, here it is. It's right out in the open, looking to probably do some kind of flanking maneuver eventually. A lot of times you just set up your forces for this. Leopards winding up against a Scot. Might even just be a waste of ammunition, hard to say. With 7 minutes left in the game, but oh my god, here comes a big Scot rush. Trying to get this command, a Sultan command, a very easy to defend command because it defends itself. And he pulls back just in time. Very scary also because this is quite the expensive command. I believe it's like what, 200, 300, 230. Yeah, that's like whew. So yeah, we do have a Gazelle recon trying to spot. Can you see it? Yes, he can. So now he just really has to deploy like some kind of missile anti-tank weapon over here, and he'll be fine. Looks like Halt in the Hand is actually having a weakness in supply right now. Is his biggest weakness. He's pulling his command immediately. As soon as the attack comes, Flakpanzers versus Spettelkonowskis, not that upgrade, modern BK side, immediately destroyed. Tank destroyers, of course, not very good against infantry. The Flakpanzers being pulled back, there is another Flakpanzer Geopard here, and lots around all sorts of flank actions. And Juliet for now, not very secure. There's still too much here. Unfortunately, these Motostrelskis and Spettelkonowskis need to be in very, very good range in order to be effective, and for them to be able to leave this woods would bring them into the wrath of lots of Flakpanzers. Here comes again the Flakpanzer damage. He just has to be able to kite. Move these back. These guys move forward. Here he comes the kiting. He only is able to move one in time. You just got to be able to pull back as these Motostrelskis and Spettelkonowskis move forward. This would actually be a good place for this artillery, which as far as I can see, he hasn't used the entire game. And it's such an obscure open position too. It makes me think that Halt in the Hand's victories here might be a lot of fluke in the fact that this position right next to all this has not been spotted yet. Just bizarre too. G-Bro takes a 200-point lead right now. Doing very, very well. These small attacks and defending these big attacks have definitely put him in the lead. And just lots of fuel problems, lots of supply problems, a lot of things are running out of weapons, and he's just unable to mobilize his army effectively. We have a recon moving up. See if he can spot the enemies in the woods. Looks like he can get at least a BAB. Nothing, of course, moving to defend it. No point. He should pull it back, though. There's also 4 VAB sitting in the woods here, but there's also a BTR-60 Pi waiting here for him. As you can see here, there's lots of Apaches trying to get as many points as possible. He's still about 150 points behind. There's only 2 minutes left, so this is where the craziness should happen. There should be some insanity happening in which Halt in the Hand should be trying to all in at all costs. Here comes the Apache. Of course, losing these Apaches would be devastating, and looks like he's going to get a single Pi down, and ooh, a malfunction, and he gets the other one. That puts him only 70 behind. He still has this artillery here, which he hasn't used. There's a minute left in the game, and really any lucky damage you can get would be awesome. The Tunguska's winding up. Ooh, big hits, able to get these Apaches and close the gap to the point that currently Halt in the Hand probably cannot win. And yeah, like, what the hell is this? That's the biggest waste of points. See, Apache's trying to pick off what they can, though. Still unable to close the gap. Too many of these vehicles that it's destroying are actually too weak. And Flak Panzers do drive off these Scots, and will be able to chase down this VDV squad, but unfortunately this won't be enough for Halt in the Hand. G-Bro progresses on to round 3. Does so convincingly. And yeah. That was just a little bit of a confusing game. It's always interesting to see what people come up with, though. Either of these opponents. I will have more games today, but for now, I will see you later. Thank you guys for watching.